Hi, let's explore three-part breath together. Three-part breath is a very simple breathing technique that aims to bring awareness to all the different parts of our chest that move when we take a deep, proper, full breath. Very often, day-to-day life has us kind of hunched over and we're breathing into the little bit of space that we can find. But three-part breath encourages us to use all of the space available, because it's not just our lungs that expand. As the lungs open up inside the chest, they push everything else a little bit to the side. So the more we can allow things to move out, the bigger we can open our lungs for that full breath. Three-part breath also helps to tone our diaphragm, which is this big muscle that almost sits like the dome of a tent under the bottom of the rib cage. So it sits between the lungs and the abdomen. So three-part breath helps us to get this muscle strong, to get good control of it. And the after effect, or the side effect of doing three-part breath, is that we begin to feel really calm. So it's a nice soothing breath you can do at the end of the day, even at the start of the day, whenever you feel anxious or you feel like you just need a break. We're going to practice this breath today from lying down. That is the easiest place from which to start the breath. And after that, you can practice the breath seated, you can practice it standing, but I find that lying down is the best way to get a feel for the breath first. So you are welcome to lie down on your back. And as you lie down, see if you can bend your knees and ground your feet. I have a little blanket underneath my hips simply because I find it comfortable. You can do it with or without. So considering your capacity for breath as you come to lie on your back, use your hands to first touch the first part of the breath, the upper part, which is the collarbones. So if you feel this bone here just underneath the throat, those are the collarbones. And if you put your hands up here, that is the first part of the breath that we want to fill, is the upper chest. The second part of the breath is the lower part of the chest. So this would be here around your lower ribs. And then the third part of the breath is the lower belly. So all three of those spaces move and flow together as we do the breath. And we'll start by taking little pauses in between. So you're welcome to use your hands to guide you as well. Placing your hands on the upper chest, take a breath that fills only the upper chest. So it's a little sip of breath. It's not a full breath, just a little sip. And then another little sip to fill the lower ribs. And then the last little sip to fill the belly. And then a smooth breath out. Good. Let's try that again. Again, filling the three parts, little bit of a sip each time. And making sure that you breathe through your nose as you do this. So hands on the upper chest. First sip filling 1/3 of your breath capacity. Hands to the lower ribs, filling the second third. And then hands to the belly, filling the last third. Good. Again, one big exhalation. Still exhaling through the nose, feeling the belly, the ribs, and the upper chest sink down. Good. Let's try one more time, but this time we'll fill the sips. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and then we'll do the same on the exhalation. So inhale, filling the first third, second, into the belly, and now releasing the breath, emptying the belly, exiting or emptying the lower ribs, and then the last one, the top. Good. Now take a deep, smooth breath in. filling all the way from the collarbones down to the belly, and then again, exhale, release. Takes a bit of concentration and focus initially, but now you have the feel for the breath. So let's see if we can do all of that, those three parts of the breath, but in one smooth, continuous movement. So still lying down, hands can be by your side or on the body as you wish. Let's see if we can fill the upper ribs first, then the lower ribs, then the belly, and reversing that as we exhale, but making those little gaps in between, removing them and making them smooth. So a big inhalation that starts with the nose, upper ribs, lower ribs, belly, and then exhale, belly, lower ribs, upper chest. And then we keep flowing. Inhale, upper ribs, lower ribs, belly, and then exhaling, belly, lower ribs, upper ribs, pause. Again, inhale, upper ribs, collarbones, then lower ribs, belly as you inhale fully, and then exhale, belly, lower ribs, collarbones. Take a little pause. Inhale, collarbones rise, lower ribs rise, belly rises, and then exhale, belly sinks, lower ribs sink, collarbones drop down, and finishing the breath. Let's see if you can do 3 more rounds on your own. Simply feeling into the body, expanding and opening all of those spaces. Not worrying too much about whether you're doing it perfect, but rather trying to find that very natural motion of the breath that finds the space everywhere it is available. Begin to feel that breath move really from the center of the rib cage, and then directing the space out towards the sides. Good. One last full breath like this. Inhale from the top to the bottom, fully expand, and then exhale, release from the bottom to the top. Bring your hands to rest on your body. Take a few easy breaths and just see how you feel, having taken those fuller inhalations and those slower exhalations. So this is a breath you can practice at any time, even when you're driving, even when you're sitting in public transport. And just a gentle awareness of how we breathe, it lifts our posture, it makes us feel more present, makes us feel more alive and grounded. I'd love to hear your experience of this breathing practice. Feel free to share with us in the community. And I hope you find many places where you can use this breath.